Hi, everybody. This is Noble Dracone, co-host of CrypotTenX, and
this is Barnaby Anderson, you co-host as well of CrypotTenX. We're really excited today because this is the first show we've got, and we've got a great show lined up for you with some great guests.
Yeah, you know, when we started it, we decided to do this for this is Noble Dracone, co-host of CrypotTenX, and
so Barnaby Anderson, you co-host of CrypotTenX. We're really excited today because this is the first show we've got, and we've got a great show lined up for you with some great guests.
Yeah, you know, when we started it, we decided to do this for there you go. So yeah, so as I was saying that you know, when we decided to do this show, we wanted to talk to our friends in crypto, focus on NFTs, and create show and share with you guys our NFTs and our crypto and etc. So Barnaby.
And we've got the people we've got lined up today is our good mates Travis and Joel from BCHeroes, Blockchain Heroes. So before we just jump into that, let's run the intro, and then we're going to talk to Travis and Joel.
Nice. All right, guys. So we got Travis, Joel. How you guys doing today?
What's happening, fellas? Catchy little intro video you got there.
Well, listen, it's our inaugural, it's our inaugural show. So, we wanted to have some of our best people on and have you guys. So yeah, good job, Barnaby.
Sweet. When are they coming on? I can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
It's
for now, just wait 5 minutes. They'll be here.
Oh, they'll be here after us? Sweet.
Oh, that's great. I'll stick around and watch. I want to see what they have to say.
That's good.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, well, you do have some exciting news because you guys have just launched your new NFT set for Blockchain Heroes.
Congratulations, guys.
Thanks. Yeah, this is it's going really well. This is our second release of Blockchain Heroes. The first one, Series 1, came out in August and sold out in 15-20 minutes. And now the second series is out, and we're doing this one in phases. Phase 1 is gone. We're in the midst of Phase 2 right now. And soon, the much anticipated Phase 3.
That sounds great, Joel. I think a lot of people, though, just because the audience that we're speaking to, as many audiences that will be listening, including over at LA Token, they won't even know necessarily what an NFT is. Like, it sounds pretty technical. We all know what it is, but it stands for non-fungible tokens. But how about in your words, what is an NFT and why are you guys excited about them?
Yeah, I think it's clear if you think about it like this. So first of all, you got to understand what a fungible token is. And so a fungible token is something that's exchangeable with something that's identical to itself, like the US dollar. You hand me $1 US, I hand you $1 US. You hand me, 1 Bitcoin, I'll give you back 0.1 of a Bitcoin. It's good for me. It's a way better deal. But they're actually the same. Like 1 Ethereum's 1 Ethereum, 1 Bitcoin's 1 Bitcoin, right? But if you start talking about like tickets, what about like a concert ticket? Like for your front row ticket is different than my back row ticket. Those aren't the same. Those are kind of fungible, but they're different. But then if you start getting into other things like collectibles and whatnot, they become what's called a non-fungible token, where each one has its own value. They're similar, but they're not identical, and they have their own unique value. They have their own unique digital scarcity, and thus they end up having their own value. So like one card in the set might be more common, another one might be more rare, or an epic or a mythic level card, and have a lot more value based on that digital scarcity.
Right. So basically the easiest way to think of an NFT is as a collectible. And when you're talking about cards, like things that people have been trading for 100 years, those baseball cards, etc., would you say that's the simplest way to understand it?
I think it's a pretty good way.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to get it. I mean, you collect it, you own it, it's yours. And the beauty of digital collectibles is there's so much more you can do with them. When you opened up a pack of baseball cards from Topps, it's this cool looking card, but it's static. and it's just looking back at you. With digital, we can do all kinds of cool lighting effects and animations and add music and video, and it brings it alive in a way that a static collectible doesn't.
So my question is, why are NFTs important now, right? We've got Ethereum, we've got blockchain, we've got thousands. I think someone told me the other 8,000 altcoins. So why are NFTs even important in today's environment?
Well, you've collected them, right? They're cool as hell. I mean, there's just something about a wallet full of NFTs that's so fun. When I was younger, I collected baseball cards and came home from school one day to discover that my mom had thrown out two big grocery bags full of baseball cards, and they're gone forever. She couldn't do that to my digital collectibles. Mom, I'm talking to you. I forgive you, but go ahead, try and throw out my bags of NFTs. You can't, because you don't own the key. Those digital collectibles don't degrade over time. My baseball cards, I handle them. I got my juices from my fingers, on them, the oils, and I'd look at them while I was eating, and so you got grilled cheese on them, and that doesn't happen. You might get that on your keyboard, but it doesn't happen to your digital collectibles. So there's no wear and tear over time.
So totally, Joel. Like me being not a US, I'm from Australia. I wasn't into baseball. We didn't have that over there. I was into Star Wars cards. So I had this massive collection of Star Wars cards.
Me too. Had them all. Series 1,
I had
Series
all
3.
At the bubble gum, and you were swapping it with the kids, and I've lost all that now. And those packs would be worth, like right now, because I was really taking good care of them as a kid, and somehow in all my travels they disappeared. But I reckon they'd be worth thousands of dollars now. That's what you're saying, isn't it? That these collectibles, they're going to go up in value over time.
I'd also say this is that one of the Winklevoss twins, I think it was Tyler, who said that back in the day everybody thought that having the physical cards and stuff was really cool, but over time they can be degraded. That's actually a bug, right? And so digital cards are not going to decrease they're not going to get eliminated. You're not going to lose them. You're not going to bend a corner. They're not going to get ruined. They're going to stay pristine forever. So actual physical collectibles is the bug by saying that they can be degraded over time. You can lose them. You can, step on them. You can, do like what I did and put them in my bicycle and made it sound like my bicycle is a motorcycle. and so I had the best motorcycle in the town, but it ruined a lot of my cards. And so, that's the thing about these digital collectibles is, I mean, seriously, who here does not have a smartphone, right? I mean, I'm looking at all the stuff in my house here. It's like, if you look at all these books and these could all be digital collectibles that I could just harness on my phone. And then eventually I'm going to be able to take these NFTs with AR and augmented reality, most likely, and be able to place them wherever I want to place them anyway. So, we're not going to be able to leave home because of this new quarantine thing. So might as well just have cool NFTs everywhere.
Yeah, so I guess the part that I love about it, and the reason that I kind of really gravitated to it, is I'm a comic book collector, and the reality is I've been collecting comic books since I was 8 years old.
You kind of sound far away. You
might want to turn up your mic a little bit there, Noah.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I said, I've been a comic book collector for the last 8 years. Can you hear me any better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a collector since I was 8 years old. I've been collecting comic books, and the reality is I don't have any of those comic books. I don't have any of those X-Men. I don't have any of that stuff. And, you look at it today and you realize how valuable all this stuff is. And then it's also ownership, right? You own your media. Up until now, nobody knew who owned what in collectibles. It could be stolen. It could be taken from you.
Right.
It's one thing having your mom throw it away, but it's another thing having, your painting stolen from the museum.
Right.
Who owns that?
Oh, damn. My Mona Lisa's gone.
Exactly.
But it does. It provides that ownership. It is the best certificate of authenticity that you can find, right? Because everybody on blockchain can see exactly where that asset is. There's no question about it, which also makes it really easy for transacting. Over quarantine, over lockdowns, I sold my comic books. I sold my Star Wars cards. I decided to unload all of my collectibles on eBay, and people would bid and then they would buy, and sometimes they'd pay me and then I would ship it and they'd be like, where is it? And like, it's on its way. And then other times people wouldn't pay. And that was a problem with digital collectibles. We eliminate the time of travel because it's instant. We eliminate the any fraud in terms of buying or selling that collectible because it's all on blockchain and it happens seamlessly. And in those, you don't have to deal with those issues with digital collectibles.
And he sold all of his collectibles and got Bitcoin. So I think he probably is more valuable anyway at this point.
I don't know. I'm still holding on to my artwork. I buy comic, original comic art drawn from different artists, and that one's going to be a tough one to convince me to put on blockchain, only because it's nice to have, but it'd be cool to be able to have a digital replica showing that I owned it, right? A certificate of authenticity.
There you go. That's what it is. The certificate of authenticity. Things that are in the physical world will be attached more so to the blockchain moving forward. Definitely.
So on this point, guys, like we're getting more technical, and that's why I just wanted to take it, because I think it's a lot for people to wrap their heads around blockchain anyway. A lot of people, clearly most people don't even have, Bitcoin or Ethereum. And here we're talking about a collectible, like it's a unique item on the blockchain. So it's not fungible. Like you've got everybody can interchange Bitcoin to Bitcoin. But here, one of these cards, it's unique. So what actually is the mechanism? What would be the simplest way to explain how do you make something unique that's digital? Because the whole point of digital is that you can always copy it. And we know that was the breakthrough that happened with blockchain, was that for the first time you could make a digital item that couldn't be replicated. And now it seems that we've jumped even further and made like individual unique items on the blockchain. What would you say about like the actual process of how can somebody wrap their head around that?
Well, you can't, so a lot of people are like, oh, you created an NFT with all these fun pictures. Cool. I just saved it to my hard drive. Now I own your NFT. And it's so ridiculous because that's like saying, hey, I just went to the Louvre, took a picture of the Mona Lisa. Now I own the Mona Lisa. Yeah. No, you don't. You own a picture of it. You own a copy of it. But the real one is on blockchain, and it is issued and authorized. It's issued by the official account. So that means it's authorized. And so people can try to make copies of it, but they can't issue it from an official account. And therefore, it will be a pirated version. It will not be official. And anybody, there are people that are going to try and scam others, right? They will make an account name that is one letter off from the official account to issue it from, but it won't have that authorized check mark next to it. It won't, they won't be able to sell their knockoffs for very long. Somebody's going to spot it.
I'd say then it's similar to the art prints, like the prints where you'd have the person signing them, they'd have to do 100 issues. It's more like along those lines. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But also more importantly, when you start tracking that, you can immediately see where it originated from. So when you look back on EOS or Wax or whatever chain you're on, you can see that never originated from the main company, and then the chain of control. And that's the beauty of the ledger of the DLT, right? That you can actually see who had it before, and if it never came to you guys, obviously it's bootleg.
Yeah, what I like to do is just save all of the ones, like Joel said, just put it in a folder in my photos, and I'm like, look at my cool NFTs. Nobody will know because I got them all just right there. I like that idea. You just gave me a great idea. I'm going to save so much money on NFTs now, Joel.
So another way of thinking this is that we're actually making blockchain art. We're making something that's beautiful and creative on the blockchain. So instead of it just being like a number like a Bitcoin, it's kind of, boring. I mean, obviously it's exciting. It goes up above 20 grand. But aside from that, this is actually creating beauty on the blockchain, taking art and making art for the first time indistinguishable. You can't copy it. It's the original. So like any artist out there, in fact, there is more art appearing in this whole non-fungible area.
It's a whole education thing, yeah, for these new artists. Like, there's so many great artists out there, and that's one of the things that we like to do is like go out and find spectacular artists that are doing really cool stuff that we can maybe apply within our, property somehow. And Joel's done a great job of finding just some ridiculous artists. And I don't know if that's because of the quarantine that's going on, that there's just so many great artists that are available and they're looking for work or whatnot. But we just spectacular artists that have designed some of the artwork and just unbelievable effects that have been, this Pumayana guy, one of the guys who does some of our art for our collector's edition artwork. It's just spectacular. I mean, this artwork is like, it moves, it's 3D, it's got sacred geometry and these different, they're just the most beautiful pieces of digital art that I've seen. And I'm so proud they're on our collectible set. I mean, it's really cool.
So on that point, yeah, are you guys like leading the way in this whole NFT issuing card sets, or like what's going on in the space? Because like for most people, they wouldn't have even seen it, and to me, it's blown up in these last 6 months or so. But is that like, where are you guys? Are you at the spearhead of this?
Yeah, we're pioneering this technology along with a few others. Ethereum has been the leading chain for creating NFTs, but Ethereum's got some serious problems until they get 2.0 released, which could actually still be years before we have Ethereum 2.0. It's slower, right? You need 40 confirmations, and if the network is clogged, it can be super slow. And then you have gas fees. When the network is clogged, the gas fees are ridiculous. So you might want to buy an NFT for 50 cents, but it costs you $8 in gas fees to get it. So you can't do it. So, very quietly, the Wax blockchain has risen to become the place for collectibles. I think Topps was the one to really kick it off in the summer with their Garbage Pail Kids Series 1 set, where you would buy a pack of cards and out they come, and you've got all these cool variations and atom bombs and collectibles that you could buy, sell, trade. And they sold out in a little more than a day. We released Blockchain Heroes Series 1 as the next big release on Wax, and we sold out. Actually, William Shatner released his, then we released ours. And now it's kind of like become the place for buying these collectibles, especially the ones that are packaged. You can buy individual pieces from some artists, but it's really become known as the place to buy packs of cards. Old school, we like to call them wax packs. And we're having fun pioneering the way. I think 2021 is the year of the NFT, and I think we're going to move into the early adopter phase by mid to late 2021, and a couple years down the road is when we'll really start seeing mainstream hit.
Mm-hmm. So I guess my biggest question is, what was your impetus? What was your passion? You guys have got one of the top podcasts out there, Bad Crypto, millions of listeners, tons of 500,000 downloads per show. What made you guys want to pivot and say, okay, we want to make these blockchain heroes and put them out? What was the message you were trying to drive for?
Well, I think it started, we like to help drive forward and play with the technologies, right? We don't just like to talk about them. Like, we've done a lot of different things over this past 3.5 years, aside from just the podcast. Like, we had somebody who liked the show reach out to us and said, hey, we'd love to work with you guys to create a mineable coin called Bad Coin. We had talked about what we'd like to do, and somebody heard it and said, hey, let's build it. And so as a member of the community, built a token for us. We helped talk about that and building that out. We thought that was really interesting. It's a way that people who have bad computers can mine Bitcoin, but not mine Bitcoin, but mine a crypto in an easy way to sort of understand it. You don't have to have a whole, warehouse full of computers like you do with Bitcoin, right? We want to create a coin that you could mine with bad computers. That was cool. We did that. And then also earlier this year, we said, hey, there's this pandemic thing going on. Man, there's not going to be any conferences. We should probably have a big virtual conference for people in blockchain. So we created Virtual Blockchain Week. It was a 5-day long, actually it was a 6-day long conference. We did that late last year. We had the idea about creating a proof of listening protocol for people who listen to our podcast. So like, you listen to our podcast, we're going to give you a URL to go to. And when you go to that URL, you can type in your Ethereum address, and we will drop you an NFT from that show to prove that you listened to that show during the first 72 hours of that show being released. And throughout, then moving into this year, we did some of that stuff at events. We were at in Miami, and we did some really cool stuff there with some, proof of attendance, which a guy out of Denver. What was the guy? POAP? What's his name?
Yeah, Patricio
Worthhalter. He created this thing called Proof of Attendance Protocol, and we utilized that a couple times at events, and then kind of morphed that into our proof of listening. And then Joel had an idea about like February, I think it was early February or March, and he goes, "Hey, how cool would it be? You know, I'm looking at this Rarible and this Open Sea. How cool would it be for us to create, you know, this series around blockchain buddies, and maybe we create these different cool people in blockchain, and we make some cards and try to sell them." And then we had a conversation. I was like, "What? Kind of like Garbage Pail Kids or something?" He was like, "Yeah, kind of like that." And then 5 days later, Topps announced that they were going to do a thing with Garbage Pail Kids. So we were like, we've been kind of, you know, lockstep with this for a while, and then we had a conversation after Virtual Blockchain Week, and decided to not call it Blockchain Buddies. That sounds a little silly, but let's focus on the heroes in the space and come up with this thing called Blockchain Heroes.
Hey, well, I love it. I have NFTs. I own a bunch of Blockchain Heroes from the first series, the first launch. What got me excited was seeing Shatner sell out in 9 minutes, and so that's kind of drove us to start going in the same direction and really thinking about it for our own game. So I love the space.
And now you guys have just launched your second pack. So the first one that came out like, what was that, like 4 months ago? And now and now you spent this time basically innovating and iterating, and now you've got the second set, and you're doing it a different style of launch this time. What's inspired you about this new series and how you're doing it?
One of our big goals in Bad Crypto and everything we do has always been to bring mass adoption, to bring more people to the space. And so with the launch of Blockchain Heroes 2, we wanted to create an even badder-asser set of cards for our fans. And we accomplished that. I mean, we've got 3D trophies, we've got animated cartoon cards, we've got videos, we've got heroes and villains, all these different variations. It's super fun. But the next part of it is bringing new people into the space. And so we worked with Dimitri and Saddam at Bounty Block, great team. And we wanted to develop a piece of software that would allow people to gift packs to other people. And so if you go to gifthero.cards, you'll see the software is live. And if you buy packs of Blockchain Heroes, you can click on a pack, you can put it in a friend's email address in a custom message. It shoots them an email, and then they go, "Oh, what's this? I got a pack of cards to open." They claim it. It walks them through the process of setting up their WaxCloud wallet quickly and easily with their Twitter, their Facebook, and email account. And before you know it, they're opening cards. And now they're in the NFT universe. And if they like what they see, they can jump in further and buy more packs and become part of the community.
Wow. And so where do they go to buy a pack? What's the address? What's the
it's BCHeroes.com. And I've got it. If you'll let me share my screen, I've got a great video that kind of provides an overview of the whole series for you, and I'll put that up, and we can watch this together. It'll be special. And I've not done this on StreamYard, so you need to tell me if you hear the audio.
It's coming up.
All right.
Not the.
I just added you to this.
The battle between the forces of good and
Yeah.
evil. Will the evil centralizers of the world financial systems, authoritarian governments, and world of scams
Can you hear that?
and deceit win?
Yeah.
Or will decentralization, liberty, and freedom triumph? You are invited to enter the fray with the best-selling digital collectible trading card series, Blockchain Heroes. Blockchain Heroes is a lovingly crafted NFT digital collectible series on the Wax blockchain. It's full of professionally rendered characters who represent people and concepts in the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency. From mining and chain forks to shills and trolls, Blockchain Heroes conceptualizes complex subjects in a way that's easy and fun. You'll discover a wealth of unique and exciting characters and a rich and dynamic fictional metaverse to explore.
Do we lose Joe? Can you hear it? Did we lose Joe's sound?
We lost the sound.
Let me try. Yeah, he muted his mic, so I think it muted broadcast.
Yeah. And Travis is muted too. Hey guys, come back on. Unmute yourselves. Travis.
There you go. Yeah, I think when he walked away and muted his mic to go do something, the video stopped playing. But these are some of the variations that we have on the
Oh
set
man,
here.
I like those.
3D renders.
And these are the 3D models.
Who are those guys? They
Bigger
look
surprises. Buy, sell, trade, collect, and participate in gamified activities to level up your cards and discover exciting new variations. Eager to involve friends, family, and associates in collecting with you? We've created a simple system for you to gift packs and NFTs to others without having to explain what blockchain is. If you're ready to pioneer the future of digital collectibles, join the thousands of others who own Blockchain Heroes cards by visiting BCHeroes.com. You'll find everything you need to get started, and then come join our vibrant community on Telegram at t.me/BCHeroes. The future of liberty and freedom depends on it.
Sorry about that, guys. Didn't realize this is my first time sharing on StreamYard.
And they decided to go away. First time sharing on StreamYard. He's like, I'm out of here. Mic drop.
Hopefully he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. You can just see the various different variations. It's really fun for us to actually see it all in that one video, because like when we did the first series, then we just had 50 heroes, right? And they were all based on real people. And then we updated it. We had series 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 4, 5, 6. We updated the sets and updated the cards. And so we made it really fun and delightful for our audience to keep doing stuff with the cards. A lot of these properties are going to, sell you the cards, and they're going to disappear until they come back with the next group of something to sell you. We're not like that at all. What we like to do is we like to really over-deliver and really surprise people. And we've done some really cool, in our minds, some really cool things that have actually upgraded people's cards, like different burn mechanisms. You take a bunch of these cards, burn them, and turn them into another card. We had this one Dust Forge where you take a card in here, and then you try to upgrade it, and you'd either get Dust or you'd get this Dust Weaver card. And then later on, the people didn't even know what you could use the Dust for. But then later on, we had another thing where you could use the Dust and then take a rare card and add the Dust and then use the Forge. And then maybe it would turn into one of those cool sparkly cards, which we called Enchanted. And so we've always gone through and keep innovating and keep growing and doing new things and pushing the envelope that nobody else is doing, just because we think it could be fun. We think our fans would like it. And it's not about, gouging people and keep getting, let's keep selling and keep selling. It's like, no, we want to move this space forward. We want to create mass adoption. We want people to people who would like this stuff. Like if you like, blockchain and crypto, and if you've liked Magic the Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons, or you've collected anything or any of those, other things down the road, Pokemon, Magic, et cetera, Hearthstone, like you're going to like this space. You're going to like NFTs. And so how do we find more of those folks? And as Joel mentioned, we had that gifting mechanism to gift to friends, so that way they can experience the joy of this stuff.
And Travis, obviously you guys are really pushing this whole space ahead, but there is real value here in people, essentially, like when they're buying these cards, let's get real about it. Like a lot of people come to crypto because they want to make a return. Mm-hmm. What are you seeing people's returns coming back from when they're buying the Blockchain Heroes? Are they getting a good win here for themselves?
Well, some cards end up being valuable and some don't. The collectors have to decide, what's valuable to them. But what's the record sale we've seen for a card, Travis? How much?
We've had a sale, I think a little over $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's
several over $1,000 US.
And but they didn't buy them for that much. What did they buy them for at the beginning? They were.
Interestingly enough, a couple of the ones that went for over $1,000 were free promo cards that we did with Upland. But what's the one that sold for $2,000, Trev?
Was it the one that was the Banksy? Banksy sold for like $1,500.
Yeah, that one sold for a lot. Some of them come in packs, some of them are rewards, some of them are promotional items. But yeah, it's not uncommon to see cards go for significantly more than they were purchased for.
It's fair to say that this is a completely legitimate space, that people are buying these collectible assets, trading them, and sometimes often making money on them as well.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of speculators in the space. A lot.
There are, and there's been, and what we've noticed is there's some whales that are starting to take interest in the wax ecosystem as well, and they're coming in and buying a lot of some different properties and driving up prices of some properties 10, 20x on sometimes, right? Because they seem to think that, just like with Bitcoin, You know,
Mhm.
oh, wait 10 years, these things are going to be worth a ridiculous amount of money. And so it's
Well,
like,
that's the beauty of
right.
the NFT. But that's the beauty
Yeah.
of it, right? From the beginning, what we said, each one is unique. There's no fungibility. You know, it's not like you're getting this one Banksy that's registered and you're going to have 5 number ones of this one. Once you get that number 1 or number 5 that's in the ecosystem, that's it. There's not going to be another one like it. And so
That's right.
it's ripe for that type of speculation because it's one of a kind. Every single one you guys make. And I mean, that stuff I just saw, awesome. I love the artwork. I love everything you guys are doing. And I can tell you guys are fans of your own product, and that's what makes it fun even for us.
Yeah, and guys, so we're gonna wrap up in a minute, but just one. I can imagine one question that people might be having is like, well, how do we know that this isn't all just going to crash and disappear? These files online, like, how are they able to make sure? What is the integrity around these digital products and their longevity over this next 1, 2, 5, 10 years? What keeps it going?
Blockchain keeps it going, right? All of these files are stored on IPFS, decentralized file storage systems. And I think a server can go down, but it doesn't mean that the files are going to disappear.
Well, because it's a distributed network. So the IPFS is distributed, which means just like the internet, you can't take down the internet. You can't take down Bitcoin because there's too many nodes out there. You can't take down this NFT network, which means that people's assets, these blockchain heroes cards that they can collect, they're going to be able to hold on to them for years to come.
Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lot of things you're going to be able to do with them. There's going to be some DeFi plays that are popping up with your NFTs. You know, there's already some stuff popping up around staking your NFTs and then earning some cryptos. And there's, there's a launch today that's happening, the COGS launch, and they're actually having their own token. And this one token is backed by 30 packs of their cards, of their set of cards. And last time they did that, their $25 packs of cards ended up going about 10x on the secondary market, and they're still there. So now if that happens on this and you got 30 of them and 30x, I mean, who knows? It's all speculation in some cases. I like to collect because I want to see a little bit of each cards, how things are done. Like this Monsters of Rap came out this past week, so I wanted to open up a couple packs of those. And I got myself a golden Biggie Smalls, and I got myself a golden Snoop Dogg, but they're not called Snoop Dogg. He's called Canine Calvin because he's a dog. And his name's Calvin Brodus. So I took their real names, and so they were really cool. I got some Monster Mathers or card, whatever he was or whatever. So I mean, it's just really cool how that there's different people are taking the stuff in different ways, and the artist behind that is like a GPK artist. So there's some great fresh talent. I mean, Atari came into the space and dropped some NFTs. Bratz Collectibles, that girl doll thing from the 90s or whatever, they're coming in and doing some NFTs. There's some big launches, the Bitcoin Origins things, a bunch of stuff that's going on in the space that's really fun, and people seem to be enjoying it.
I'm going to open up a pack here for you. Go ahead and put that up, and
second.
we'll see what happens here.
This is one thing that I think is key about all collectible series is you got to have a kick-ass opening video. Whenever you're opening up that pack, it's got to be cool.
This is them opening the pack and
This
getting
is them opening the pack, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And now the cards drop out, and you're going to see a lot of common cards. And if you're lucky, the random number generator hits for you and you get something legendary or mythic or even rarer than that. So far, I'm about par for the course on this pack, seeing a lot of commons, uncommons, a few rares, but no legendaries or mythics yet. I do not get lucky opening these things.
Well,
but
I would say this is that the front of the cards is just part of the experience. You're going to want to go to atomichub.io, log in, check into your inventory, and then look at these cards and then flip them over, because the back of each one of the cards are very detailed. They have a great story behind each one. Each one of these characters in this set are based on real principles of centralization and decentralization. We talk about the villains, who are, the big centralized organizations in the world, like the world governments and the world economy, and a lot of the corruption that happens with globalism and whatnot. And the heroes are all principles of blockchain that could be solutions to the evil centralizers, as we call them.
For sure. So what you're seeing here, this is actually the Atomic Hub. And based on what you were just saying a moment ago, Travis, there's like more and more actually of these packs being issued by different groups. So there's a lot of art, a lot of exciting games coming out on this NFT platform on Atomic Hub, and you guys are at that front end of that. And so if people want to go and check out a lot of those things you were talking about, they can go to Atomic Hub.
Yeah, and buy packs on the secondary market right there and open them up. Papaya.
Yeah, and when they go to your BCHeroes.com and buy them, they actually get automatically taken over to the Atomic Hub. And one of the cool things that I loved about the Wax ecosystem that basically all this is being built out on is how easy it is for someone to create a Wax wallet. Like, unlike a lot of other areas in crypto, this one is easy for people to get into and adopt. So for anybody who's listening and thinking, wow, how do I actually do this? Just go to Atomic Hub or go to BC Heroes and just sign up and get a free Wax account, a Wax wallet, and you'll be able to log in, and you'll be surprised at how easy it is to actually start playing with these digital assets.
Yeah, I mean, you can set up with it. I set up my Gmail. This is my Gmail LinkedIn account, and a social media account. It was super hyper easy.
It is.
Well, guys, it's been super having you on the show today.
Awesome.
As our
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You guys are doing phase 2.
BCHeroes.com.
Yeah, and you guys are doing phase 2. Is that happening right now? Just so everybody knows.
Happening right now. In fact, those who are watching live right now, for the next 2 days, there's a buy 5 packs, get 1 free promotion going on. So if you'll go to BCHeroes.com and go to click on buy packs, if you'll purchase 5 of any kind of pack, 5 hero packs, 5 Titan, 5 gallery crates, whichever you purchase 5 of, and you can repeat that and do it multiple times. On Christmas Eve, you will get airdropped to your wallet a free pack to match those.
And if you want to, as you were saying, people can gift them as presents for this coming week, right?
And you should. You should gift them. Like, give the gift of NFTs.
Yeah.
Well, you'll know if more people know, the value goes up. More collectors, more people, more interest. More interest drives more value because there's only one number one. That's it.
That's why we worked with the team to create that gift NFT platform. And starting in February, we're going to open it up to let everybody utilize that platform so they can gift NFTs to their audience, because really it's all about wanting to grow the audiences and get more people into the ecosystem, and more people that are in the ecosystem, the more people that are going to look at these various different properties, and the more sales that everybody has. It's that rising tide will lift all the boats.
For sure. Well, we're certainly excited. We've got our own NFT collection that we're working on, and really grateful for your guys' support in that. And we just love this whole space. And we agree that the more people that jump into the NFTs, it could actually be a way to adopt and bringing people into cryptocurrency, because even that is still too small. And we're seeing now things really move.
Yeah, so, it's certainly the most fun side of getting into crypto first, right? I mean, sure, it's great to look at your Coinbase account every day and see if it grows, or checking out your Blockfolio every 10 minutes to see if you got more, if any of your coins have gone to the moon. But this right here, the gamification of NFTs, and actually we're discussing now is as the next phase is what would a game look like for Blockchain Heroes. So that's one of the things that we're talking about. So we're not done innovating. We're not done with this thing by any stretch of the imagination. In our minds, this whole industry is just getting started, and the party's just getting started, and we haven't even tapped the keg.
I'm glad we're all a part of it. I'm glad to be connected with you guys. I'm glad to be involved with you guys. I'm glad to get your guys' guidance on our NFTs. The reality is, if anybody who's listening could have bought, knowing what they know now, Bitcoin, knowing what they know now back at the beginning, then they would have all jumped in. And this is really kind of how we're proselytizing. I've been talking to my audience and everyone about NFTs, that this is the nascent beginning, that some of these cards that were now being sold for 16 cents and common cards, etc., in 5 years are not going to be common. They're going to be the beginning of what everything was in this space. And so those people who are sleeping on it,
think about this. You've got several thousand people that are actively in the Wax NFT ecosystem now. Thousands. Okay. Maybe there's 10,000 or so that are trading various different properties. I would say tops. How many people out there will love to collect, right? Millions are going to be coming to the space. And so, when we say from Blockchain Heroes Series 1, there was 12,500 packs. Well, distributed amongst 500 people, that might not be a ton. But if 1 million people want to get their hands on them, all of a sudden those become super, super rare.
Yep.
No, especially as we keep having these different burn mechanisms, right? These little gamification things that we do. It's like we have these phases open, but we have these really fun burns open too. It's like if you take 5 commons that are duplicates that you have, you can put them in the forge and burn them up, and then you can get generated an uncommon card. You can take 5 uncommons and you'll pop out a rare. Take 5 rares, turn it into an epic. Take 5 epics, turn it into a legendary, and 5 legendaries and turn them into a mythic. So we have this game mechanics in there, and we're actually got this new game mechanic that's launching on Wednesday where you can take a complete set of 20 heroes or 20 villains of any of the rarities from common up through legendary and burn that complete set, and you're going to get a super rare collector's edition that was created by Puma Yana, probably the coolest cards that have been in our series so far. I would say the coolest cards that are in our series so far. You can get them by burning a complete set. So think about that. If a lot of people are doing that over time, some of these cards could become very rare over time, and that could impact the value.
The funny thing is, especially the commons, the ones that are not valued now, that are being burned all the way through, then all of a sudden, you only have 4 commons left. They're like, wait a minute, all of a sudden. So no, guys, I really love the space. As Barbie said, thanks a lot for being on. Thanks for working with us. You guys continue your success and keep on selling.
Yeah,
right, King of Quotes coming soon, right?
Yeah, we've got our own set. The camera coming out. What I recommend everybody is just to go to Atomic Hub, go to BC Heroes, and just get involved. Even just buy a small pack, get some cards, and start playing with this, because you never know where this is going to go. And as Noble was saying, if you knew about Bitcoin way back 10 years ago, and as Joel was saying, millions of people are coming to this space. So
yeah, I would say this. Some people are like, how do you get wax? Well, you can go to Bittrex and get wax. You can go to Crypto Locally and trade to get some wax. Changely is the way to get some wax. So there's some. What I would do is anytime you want to buy any crypto is like go to CoinMarketCap or go to CoinGecko and then type in the coin you want, and then look and see there's a little markets button on those pages, and it'll tell you which markets those are available in, and just go get an account on one of those markets.
Just about wax. Very interestingly, people ought to check out the chart of how wax is doing compared to other cryptos in the last coming months, previous months. It's been going up consistently. So wax itself, its price is demonstrating that there's adoption in this NFT space. Yep.
All right, guys. I'll let you guys get to your day. Enjoy the rest of your time. Thanks for being on.
Bye.
No, good seeing you.